Keeping Homefires Burning is an important time that allows staff and representatives from the projects that we serve to come together. We work together to develop leadership, to develop relationship, to develop just the different aspects of the movement that we're all working together on.
Good morning, all. Good morning and welcome to our gathering. Keeping the Homefires Burning, this is our 10th gathering.
We come here from 4 directions. From the east, Masawi people here, represented here. Mayans from the south. And then we have the coast, the ocean people from the west. And then we have the ice people from the north. Hey, Viga, John, it's powerful.
The Keeping the Homefires Burning this year was fantastic. We spent a lot of time looking and envisioning what life would be like in Indian country 7 generations from today. And the ideas and concepts that had evolved from the breakout sessions, the work sessions, was insightful. A lot of optimism for survival, and a lot of caution that Indigenous peoples need to look at our traditions and ceremonies to be able to preserve a life for Native peoples that will be meaningful in generations to come.
So there was another talk about the importance of preserving our sacred fires, our sacred ways of life, as they were in the past, and regenerating those for the future.
Our overall goal here is at the bottom, and that is daily commitment to live into the dreams of our ancestors.
Keeping the Homefires Burning is it's like a venue that you can come to channel your ideas and your energy, your frustrations, your hopes, and your dreams to a positive place. And when you get to that positive place, there's all these other people there who can give you ideas of how to rechannel it back out to the community.
I just want to say we are so grateful to the 7th Generation Fund for being there when we really needed them to help us do this work. It could not have happened without them. We're able to build now and try to do our culture there. And finally, in closing, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you in this room. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be in a room with such power and goodness. So I thank you.
As a staff member of 7th Generation Fund, Keeping the Homefires Burning is really a time where I'm able to make a connection with the affiliates and projects that we grant to and work with. It's no longer just proposals and reports and things on paper, but I actually get to meet all the amazing people that is behind this great community work. It's also really good to have the opportunity to see our funders interact with the people we work with, because I feel that they're able to have that connection as well and feel the energy, in a sense, get recharged to be able to go back to the office and help support these amazing people.
The 7th generation, with your funding, we're able to revitalize the Smuwich language for the Chumash people. This song was born last year, and I wrote it. So thank you.
This year was really exciting. We got an experience. We got a presentation from the Mayan, and they really kind of illustrated what their prophecy was about and what their stories were about, which really kind of highlighted the group survival theme and looking forward theme of this year.
El amanecer galáctico tiene un efecto directo sobre el Sol.
Okay, the galactic dawn has an effect directly on the sun.
El Sol libera energía electromagnética hacia la Tierra.
And the sun has electromagnetic force on the earth.
Acelera la resonancia de la Madre Tierra, el palpitar.
It accelerates the resonance, the heartbeat of Mother Earth.
Y el efecto de la resonancia también tiene que ver con la vida humana.
And the effect on the resonance has to do with human life.
Hay un nivel que nosotros podemos resistir y hay otro nivel que no podemos resistir.
There's a certain level at which we can kind of resist that, and a certain level at which we can't.
I noticed that a lot of the projects who attended the gathering were talking about how they were beginning to realize the impacts of climate change firsthand at the local level. Much of the discussion revolved around how Native communities can prepare for these impacts.
Climate change is a big issue in Alaska, and for us it's very serious. It's something that we deal with every day. It's not something we see on TV or hear about in the books or hear from the scientists. When we talk about climate change, and people from Alaska talk about climate change, they say Alaska is the canary in the mine on climate change. And when I talk about it, I say the canary is on life support because it's very severe up there. We have erosion of coastal areas. There are over 100 tribes that live in coastal areas in Alaska. Those tribes are going to have to relocate.
We see our projects come together and have an opportunity to share with each other and build strategies and explore new ways of addressing critical challenges happening throughout Native America, challenges of environmental justice, challenges of social justice, challenges of cultural justice, where our people need to not only develop strategies at the grassroots level, but at the national and international levels. Places where just a few decades ago we couldn't even get into the door. Now we're in the door. We're not only in the door, we are addressing the world community.
We're dealing with nations of takers. We're nations of givers dealing with nations of takers. And unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a system that facilitates the misappropriation of our cultural heritage and our biodiversity. And there's science and technologies and corporate structures that are all set up to facilitate that. And we have to pay attention to protection. We have to pay attention to protection that makes sense for us. And also get involved in understanding the nature of these international instruments so that we can hopefully affect those as well as they are being negotiated.
What Gila River has done regarding international levels of, one is the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. We were the first tribe in the nation to actually adopt it into a resolution into our tribal council.
It may not sound like a big deal, but it has been probably 20 years of trying to convince the United Nations that Indigenous peoples in the United States live in conditions that are the same as Indigenous peoples in the South, in developing countries. And to have it in an official UN document is nothing short of a miracle. An absolute miracle. Yay for us.
The type of work that we do and our future, I see a really bright future. I've always seen that, and I've seen changes. We talk about a time of change. We've seen horrible changes, but I've also seen very enlightening and very hopeful things in the world today. We've seen miracles in the last few years.
You give me hope in the fact that you are doing what you are supposed to be doing and that you have already implemented the healing strategies that belong to us through your organizational work, through your community work. You have already switched to survival preparedness by continuing to plant, to harvest, to sing, to dance, to pray, to make your annual pilgrimages to your sacred sites, to live your traditional value systems, to make your annual canoe journeys, to speak and to relearn your languages, to teach the children, and to protect the earth and advocate for her continued well-being. You give me hope.
Lo siento porque amaba su agradable compañía, mas en mi vida yo tendré que partir. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será?